Alright, this is actually pretty cool. Pamela does work.
Cool.
It's kind of really nice.
Is that a program or an add-on for Skype?
Um, it's a program all itself.
Oh,
It's
probably just like
it
records
automatic
all of the audio.
Yeah, it automatically kicks me over to DND too when I start recording, so no one else can bother the call. But now that we know this works, let's talk about that subject we encountered earlier.
Okay.
Talking about douchebags in general. Um, Basically, Lucas had a little run-in this morning with someone of this title, claimable as douchebag, and why don't you tell us what you're doing, and then we'll explain why this person is a douchebag.
Okay, well, I'm sitting here playing Runes of Magic like I do usually, and I'm just doing my dailies, good little person. And this weekend is plus like 300% talent points, so, I was kind of taking in that too. So I'm just sitting there doing my dailies, killing dogs like everyone else does. And this kid comes up to me and he's like, "Get a life. They're really nice." So, you know, where does he come from having to say that? I mean, I was sitting there for probably like maybe 10 minutes, and he comes up and decides to be a douche just, randomly.
And the thing about that is, that kid was a
Yeah,
higher level than
yeah.
you.
He was a higher level than me at that point.
So, it really stands to reason that we're becoming so mentally deficient as a society, we can't, respect other people's space,
Yeah.
or, talk to them in a pleasant manner. Like, I know that if anybody's worked in, you know, front end or service industry, like I do, I work, a lot of you know, a lot of you may not know, I work at Wise, and it's a real fun place. I love it. Real cool job, get to meet a lot of people, try to make them smile, get that little bit of their day, make them happy. But, there's always obviously going to be someone somewhere that's going to say something, and it's just going to drive you wild. It's just, like, to say that someone else needs to get a life, what is,
Yeah.
what is the arbitrary definition of a life? Going out with friends, you do that. But you can't do that every weekend because, your friends have shit they have to get done. They have to work. They have to do things around the house. Like this weekend, I was supposed to put a pump in the creek to get water out, but water started pouring from the heavens this morning and woke me up. But getting back on topic, douchebags, we all know them because they're an everyday commodity now. There's absolutely no way you cannot go through a single day without missing one unless you seclude yourself in your house, even without the aid of television, because it seems that even on TV, people are being rewarded for their less than reputable behavior. And I know if I get rewarded for this behavior, it's also less than reputable. But you know what? If I get rewarded for it, I don't care. And that's one of the problems with today's society. I would obviously try to keep this a bit more family-oriented, but that's not going to happen. Because I'm 17 and I will use whatever language I damn well please. But let's make no mistake about it, there's two types of douchebag, and I think you'll agree with me when I say this. There's the type that is,
they realize they're being douches, and then other people, it's just natural to them.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
And in that, there are two places where you really can do it. You can be the typical, the very typical, and we, as a gamer, you'll see this a lot more. It's people online being douchebags. Because if they were in front of you, probably wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Probably would be really scared of just being beaten to death with a link of summer sausage. No one is going to actively come up to you and be like, "Hey, get a life, fag," and then run away. No, it only happens on the internet that way. But there's the people in real life, too, who really take time out of their day, which takes time out of my busy day, to try to make my life miserable. And it can come from people like the certain person that we talked about last night, who I said we should all go up to and say, "Hey, heard you cried at the movie The Passion of the Person Who Doesn't Exist." Not gonna name names, but people like him who are so ignorant that they're just sheer stupidity drives you mad. And then there's people who actually do it and don't care. And at this point in my life, it's a bit difficult to say which one's worse. I mean, you may have an opinion, and I'd like to hear it, Luke. But I mean, which one do you think is worse, the arrogance or just?
I really don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, you know.
Because we have Dave, who is going to get named in this. Because there is no other word for it. I have a festering hatred that boils over with the strength of 10,000 dead babies.
I would agree.
Like, he's just the level of specialness, as my physics teacher would say, in that person is not to be trifled with, ladies and gentlemen. Do not trifle with this man. You will lose brain cells like...
If you could call it a man. I don't...
Oh! Clever. But then there's people who are, like, they'll get in your way on purpose. They will just say the most ignorant, stupid shit about you. The people who spread rumors, those are definitely douchebags. Let's get that out of the way right now. Any type of person who would spread a rumor that is just completely false, like if it has some truth to it, then it needs to be put out there. People have a right to know who they're dealing with, and I will stand by that statement till the day I die. You don't need to be walking somewhere completely blind, like, I wonder if this person's going to be like this. If someone has told you this person is, for instance, let's say this person is a woman beater, what are the odds of you socializing with that person? It's slightly less than it was. I mean, you could still be the person who's like, you know what, it could be false. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt until I know otherwise, and that's fine. And if you do that, you're a lot better a person than I am. But people who spread rumors and say, like, I got called a woman beater recently. The person was like, "Did you actually hit your girlfriend?" And I put on my "I'm watching you" meme face, like, "Are you kidding me? I'm watching you." Because I was taken aback, because if you know me, you pretty much know I really can't much hurt a fly than hurt a woman. I just I can't do it. But just the thought of it, disgusts me. But that's definitely one thing that we all have to deal with. And I would like to hear other stories of people dealing with our main chief people today that we've talked about, which are douchebags. I want to hear your stories. Because, let's all face it, we all need a place to rage and vent. And I feel as though this is the place and, of course, the time to rage and vent in society. Because if we don't, we're going to explode. And there's just going to be chunks of everyone everywhere, and no one wants to clean that up. So please, share your stories. And as always, have a nice day.